What's up, y'all? My name is Adam Dolphin, and this is my testimonial video. So I would say I came in contact with Coach Parson probably a few years ago, probably my senior year. I went to Cheney University. We was playing Lincoln, and I didn't have the best game. Well, at least I thought I didn't have the best game. I was really, I was really upset about how we ended up losing the game, and I gave up a few catches that I didn't really care for. So I wrote to him, and I was like, I was really down on myself, and I was like, I was asking him, like, were there any things that you knew, how to come back from a specific game like this? Because it was on TV and stuff. I was really upset about it. And I would always watching his videos because, I would always look up, like, before games or even in the off season. Like, I would just look up cornerback videos, corners playing, press technique, off technique, stuff like that. So, I wrote to him, and I was amazed. He wrote right back. Like, he wrote back probably within the next 2 days. And we were just talking about, a few things technique-wise and this, and that. And he showed me a few videos that were really, I thought they helped at the time because, it was my senior year, and I was just trying to play the best football I possibly could. So, fast forward a little bit of time, my end of my senior year, I didn't really have the best year that I wanted to, and I think, I guess I was working hard, but I figured, like, I guess I wasn't working as hard as I should have been. After the season, I ended up tearing my ACL, like, after the football season, and when I went to the doctor was telling me, I have to get surgery, and if you want to play football, you have to get this surgery, and if you want to, continue playing, you have to make sure that the rehab and everything is done the right way. So I followed through with it. I ended up getting surgery. It was probably in January. I tore my ACL in November. I got surgery in January, last January. So I got the surgery and everything, and I came out of the surgery, and I was just like, yo, like, this is over. Like, I'm never about to play football again. I looked at my leg, and it was like this big, so I was just like, there's, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But from January to February, I had physical therapy and stuff like that, and it's weird because when you get injured, all you want to do is play the sport that you play, and you can't. I couldn't even jog, like, so. I was in physical therapy 3 times a week, doing stuff on my own. But going back to Coach Parson videos, this was probably one of the most important times of my life because of the injury, I was forced, I was I couldn't do much, so I was forced to just be home and, sit down and just relax for so much. So for all that time, I was watching a lot of videos on YouTube. And I came back to his page, and I was like, you know what? If I can't play football, one of my coaches in high school always told me that it's really important to get mental reps. So I was like, you know what? Let me just watch as many football videos as I can. Hopefully that'll help me, get out this little bit of football because I can't play. So I might as well watch videos. So I was watching videos all day, pretty much every day, all day, just watching videos and watching corners play, watching a whole bunch of stuff, and over time, I got a little bit better. Through maybe August, I was able to start jogging again, doing stuff. I was taking therapy really slow, so I think around August I was starting to do stuff again and run and stuff like that. So backpedal, all of that good stuff. So it was good because his videos, I wrote to him, and I was like, okay, well, I know I just got out of surgery, a few months ago, 7-8 months ago, but what do I have to do? I emailed him, and I sent him a bunch of emails. He could probably tell you I've sent him probably like 8 different emails. And I was asking him, like, what do I have to do, to get myself back together? What do I have to do to put myself in a position to play on the next level? Because in college, that was my senior year. So he wrote back to me, and he told me, here's the, the running program, and here's this program, and watch these videos and make sure you do this, take this test, the cornerback test or the football test that he has you take. And I took the test, and I was like, with the best numbers that I've had in my life, and I got like a C-. And I was like, all right, so obviously I'm not doing something I'm supposed to be doing. But when I talked to him, and one of the things that I noticed was I thought even before my surgery, I thought that I was like a really hard worker because I would outwork the people around me. But what you don't realize when you're trying to play on a higher level is that you're competing against pretty much people all over the world, whether it's all over your college, all over their conference, all over the nation, whatever it is. So you have to increase your work ethic. And one thing I noticed that he does is he truly preaches technique, of course, number one, but how, like, depending on how bad you want it. There's people that say they want to do this, they want to do that all the time, but it's like when you really want something like that to play in college, for you younger dudes to play in college, or some people to play in the AFL, CFL, NFL, whatever league it is, it's important that you really like dedicate yourself to what you're doing. Like you have to obsess over it, and catch a 10,000 patches, doing 10,000 reps of this, doing 10,000 reps of that. Like it really forces you to better yourself because you're truly focused on what you're doing. So that was one thing I learned watching his videos. Like, I mean, I've learned a ton. Like I can talk all day about stuff I've learned, but technique wise and off man, press man, changing your technique. But one thing I learned was definitely working harder, and it was the perfect situation for me because since I tore my ACL, I'm behind the ball with everybody. People have been training all year, and I'm basically, this January just made a year of me coming back from surgery. And I was always a lighter guy. I was the captain of my track team in college. I was probably running about 171 pounds. And it's funny because now, like, with obsessing over it, I'm playing football now. So, I mean, eating right, making sure you're eating right, putting the proper meals in, getting the proper rest, working out. There's some days where, I'm working out twice a day if my body allows it to, if it makes sense to. And it's like you're really obsessing over it. So, I mean, over this past time, I've been lifting, I've been gaining the weight that I needed to, being really explosive. And, since it was my senior year, I wasn't back in school. So I was, trying to find out how would I play on the next level. And I actually was invited to a pro day. I was emailing a whole bunch of schools. And, some schools are like, no, we don't accept DBs, or we don't do this, or we don't do that. So I figured, well, if Mark Parson makes, watch his videos, or I watch his videos and he makes videos with DBs doing this, I was like, how about I make a video of me working out with some coaches and send it to them, since they don't know what I look like. I just told them I tore my ACL, so maybe, never know what happened. So I wrote to, I wrote to one of these schools. I wrote to Temple, and they were like, we need to see this, and that. So I was like, all right. So I sent them a video, and I actually got invited to a pro day at Temple. So I was like, oh, that's good. And that's in a few weeks. So I was like, you never know. It's possible. A year from today, a year ago, I was probably had like 65% mobility in my leg, and just working as hard as you could, trying to accomplish that dream, because at the end of the day, you can do whatever you want to do, and this man, he doesn't even realize the impact he has on my life. He has no clue, because when I was sitting there, I could have gave up. I could have just been on a couch watching TV, like, what, this football dream is over. But I was determined, in watching all those influential videos, all those videos and him, telling young kids, make sure you're running track, make sure you do this, make sure you eat right, make sure you do that. It really takes a toll on you in a positive way. And I was just like, what, I can still do this. Like, I'm still young. Let me make sure I go do this stuff from therapy at home. Let me make sure I do my extra running. It definitely pushed me forward. So, it changed me a lot. And as far as technique wise, the little things that your body might fall off on, your mind stays sharp watching those videos. So I would tell anybody playing a sport, if you're trying to be good, you need to be watching these videos. You need to be watching as many videos as you can a day. I haven't touched my Xbox in months. So my Xbox just been sitting there because I don't watch TV anymore. I've just been watching these videos, and there's new videos up all the time. So if you guys are in high school trying to play in college, make sure you're watching those videos. Make sure you're getting on the field, doing your work, listen to this man. This man knows what he's talking about, and this stuff, you don't get information like this. So I mean, you guys need to definitely do anything you can to make sure that you're following his protocol, because he's definitely going to help you get as far in the sport as you can.